Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers that are drawing on February 21st, 2018. I have 7 strategies with my game, Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first is I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage, and the 5 white winning numbers that just came up were the 13, 26, 39, 44, and 62. Again, I really don't care about the red ball. Okay, so what I do is I take those 5 white winning numbers and I put it at the top of this list. And then I take the last 3 drawings of numbers and I transfer these numbers over to the game card as red numbers. Then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. I have 5 different colors, one to represent each one of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So for this drawing here, I have 12 red numbers, 14 orange, 18 green, 12 blue, and 13 purple. And then the number of colors change with every single drawing. Okay, so over here to the right, this 204, this represents how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. And these are the color code drawings right here. And out of this 204 drawings, 109 have come up a 3-color combination. 73 have come up a 4-color combination. 19 have come up a 2-color combination. And only 3 times out of 204 drawings have all 5 colors come up together, okay? And never has it been just 1 color. Okay, so over here, this 3, this tells me how many colors just came up in the last drawing. So you can see that there's 3 red numbers, an orange, and a blue for 3 colors total. Okay, so since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up together, the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no blue numbers will be coming up. And the reason why is because I look from this point down to this point and everything in between, I just see a lot of blue in here. So I just think that is due to miss. Okay, so again, I'm going to guess that no blue numbers will be coming up in this next drawing. So I'm going to eliminate the blue numbers off of the game card. Okay, so to speed things up, I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far with no blue numbers to it. Okay, so when I block out a number like this, this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking what I think would be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so also what I'm doing is I'm spending $3 on a Powerball ticket with the Power Play. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I'm betting $3 that none of these blue numbers will come up. Okay, and if I'm correct with my pick and none of these blue numbers come up, then I'm 1 step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, and how this works is up at the very top is the master for each individual number. Okay, and over here to the right are the numbers that just came up in the lottery. Again, it was 13, 26, 39, 44, and 62. Okay, so that turns out to be a 5-group combination. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to see is that I have 7 groups here total. Okay, so group number 1 holds the numbers of 1 through 9. And then it's the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Again, for 7 groups total. Okay, so there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how I use this is this big square right here. This is good for 5 drawings. Okay, so I like to see what happens for every 5 drawings. So if there's a lot of hits within these 5 drawings, then maybe there won't be so many hits in the following 5 drawings, or vice versa. Okay, so so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no 40 numbers will be coming up. Okay, and the reason why is because I see that there's already 4 hits. Okay, and that's a lot of hits for the average of things here. Okay, so I just think that it's going to top off right there. All right, so again, I'm going to guess that no 40 numbers will be coming up in the next drawing. So I'm going to eliminate the 40 numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm going to blow this back up again. I'm going to go to the game card, and I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, with no blue numbers from the color code, and now no 40 numbers from the individual numbers. Okay, so again, what I'm doing is I'm betting $3 that none of those blue numbers will come up in the color code, and now I'm going to parlay that bet with no 40 numbers from the individual numbers. Okay, so I'm going to make a bunch of parlay bets to try to get the numbers down. Okay, so the overall strategy is this. Okay, there's 65 numbers total, 69 numbers total. Okay, only 5 can come up as winners. Okay, so that means 64 numbers won't be able to come up at all. Okay, so for me, I just think that it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the actual 5 that do. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so basically what I did is I divided the numbers into 4 different groups. Okay, and I put colors to those groups. Okay, so when the 5 white winning Powerball numbers come up, I record where they land within these groups down here in the stats. Okay, so again, the 5 white winning numbers that just came up were the 13, 26, 29, 44, and 62. Okay, so you can see that the 13 is in blue. So here's the blue stats. Right here I put a 1, and that represents the 13. Okay, and over here is the 26, so that's the red. So I have a 1 here, which represents that 26. Okay, and here in the orange, the number that came up was the 44. So I have a 1 here that represents the 44. Okay, and the green had the 39 and the 62. So you can see that there's 2 of them there. Okay, so when the numbers hit all 4 groups like that, I call this a row. Okay, so now I can go back through the history and see when I think that they're going to double up. Okay, I don't think they're going to double up this drawing. Okay, because my guess is that no red numbers are going to come up in this next drawing. Okay, so I think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I don't think that any of these red numbers are going to come up, so I want to get rid of them. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so another thing about this, you can see the 65 and the 67 here. The 65 shares the square with the 25. Okay, so as I go back to the game card, you can see the 25 and the 65 is here. Okay, so the reason why I don't have this 25 crammed in with the 65 is because of the color code. I need some separation. So you can see for this drawing, the 25 is green and the 65 is purple. Okay, so that's why I need that separation. Okay, but if I'm going to get rid of all these numbers, I'm going to get rid of the 25 and the 65 as a group. Okay, also with the 67 and the 19, that would give I would eliminate those 2 numbers as well. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, the 65 and the 25 are gone as a group. Okay, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm keeping track of groups of numbers, large and small, and trying to predict whether that group is going to come up or not come up in the drawing. Okay, so again, I just don't think that any of these numbers are going to come up, so I want to get rid of them. Okay, so back to group 1, and my next pick is going to be option card number 7, no green numbers. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards total. Okay, and again, the strategy is try to guess where these zeros are going to pop up. Okay, so again, if I could correctly guess that none of these green numbers are going to come up, it's going to give me a huge advantage. Okay, from picking from less numbers. Okay, so the reason why I have 15 of these option cards is to give me as many options as possible to try to guess where these zeros are going to come up. Okay, so again, I don't think any green numbers are going to come up from this option card number 7, so I want to get rid of them. So I'm going to eliminate the green numbers off of the game card. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so if I'm correct with all my picks, the 5 white winning numbers will come up within the colored numbers that are still left on the board. Okay, again, the magic word here is if. If I'm correct with all my picks, then the 5 white winning numbers will be here within the colored numbers still left on the board. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1, where I divided things into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate that group of numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how this works is I have 15 option cards as well here, and they all kind of look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so you can see this option card number 2 kind of looks the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. It's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other from each different option card. Okay, so you can see that the yellow go up and down here, but over here on group 2, option card number 2, the yellow goes from side to side. Okay, and then when you go to option card number 3, you can see that this is what the yellow numbers look like. Okay, so again, they're just a little bit different from each different option card. Okay, so here I like to keep track of every 5 drawings. Okay, and the reason why is because it shows me a majority. Okay, so you can see that this 0, that represents that none of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area. And of course, this 2 means that 2 out of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red numbers. Okay, so if there's 3 or more zeros, I color this blue for cold. If there's 3 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so as I go down through the history of things, okay, because this only represents 9 numbers, okay, so you can see that there's 8 here, but the 65 and 25 are here as a group, okay, so there's only 9 numbers here, and there's all these other numbers that can come up, okay, so again, not one certain group of numbers can stay hot or cold forever, okay? So the lottery is so random that way that it just can't stay hot or red or blue forever, okay? So when I see something that's really hot, well, eventually it's going to turn cold or vice versa, okay? So my first guess here is going to be option card number 1, no purple numbers, okay? So this is option card number 1. Here's the stats for purple. And as I head down through, you can see that things got pretty hot right here. Okay, and now I think they're going to cool off. So I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so 0 means that I don't believe that any of these purple numbers are going to come up in the next drawing. So I want to get rid of them. I'm going to get rid of these purple numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. So you can see that there's no purple numbers here. Okay, so I'm off to back to group 2. And my next pick is option card number 3, no purple numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the purple. And as I head down through, you can see that things got really, really hot. And now I think they're going to cool off. So I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these purple numbers off of the game card. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll to the left. I'm sorry, I'm going to scroll down. Okay, option card number 3, no purple numbers. Okay, so you can see that the 66 and 32 here have no purple numbers to it. Okay, so I'm off to the next one, and that's option card number 7, no red numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the red, and as I head down through, you can see things that I think things are a little bit more hot than cold, so I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so underneath you can see group 2, option card number 7, no red numbers. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2, and my next one is going to be option card number 9, no gray numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the gray, and as I head down through, I just think that this is going to stay cold. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the gray numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so you can see that I'm knocking these numbers down. Okay, and that, again, that's the whole goal here. So I'm going back to group 2 for one more, and that's option card number 11, no orange numbers. Okay, so as I head down through, you can see that orange has been really, really hot. Okay, so I think there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to get rid of these orange numbers off of the game card. Okay, so that's it. That's all the numbers that I'm going to eliminate at this point. Okay, so as you can see, I started out with 69 numbers, and now I'm down to 4, 6, 8 numbers total. Okay, so to help me pick what I think is going to be the 5 white winning numbers, I'm going to turn to my next strategy, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so strategy number 5, the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at here is, again, I call these the 50-50 picks. So basically, again, there's 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers, or numbers to the high side or numbers to the low side. Okay, so I like to keep track of that and try to guess what the majority will be for the upcoming drawing. Okay, so how this works is I kept track of 248 drawings here. Okay, and that's since October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, so out of this 248 drawings, 125 drawings have been the majority of odd numbers, and 123 drawings have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that there's going to be more even numbers than odd numbers. Okay, so I think the majority will be even. So when I pick what I think will be the 5 white winning numbers, I wanted to make sure that there's at least 3 of them that are even numbers. Okay, so another thing with this is I like to keep track of every 5 drawings, so it shows me a majority of things. Okay, so for this last 5, you can see that the majority was odd numbers, 4 drawings to 1. Okay, and as I keep on going down through, you can see what the history has been. Okay, so again, for this drawing, I think the majority is going to be even numbers over odds. Okay, and here, as I look through the high and low here, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So I'm going to skip that one, okay? And I have left and right here as well, and I'm going to skip this one as well. And the last one I have is the red area and blue area, and I'm going to skip this one as well. I just don't feel comfortable picking these, okay? So the one thing I do have for the red ball, okay? This is the red ball right here. Now there's 26 red balls total. Okay, so in this column here, a blue number means that it's low, 1 to 13, and a red number means it's high, 14 to 26. And in this column over here, a red number means that it's odds, and a blue number means that it's evens. Okay, so doing it this way, I can just look at the colors, okay, and you can see that the red is really dominating over the blue for this last thing here. Okay, and over here, the blue is really dominating over the red. So for here, I think that this is going to be a blue number, and I think that this is going to be a red number. Okay, so I think the Powerball would be a low odd number. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, I'm going to scroll down, and you can see the 50-50 picks. The only one I felt comfortable is I think there's going to be more even numbers than odd numbers. Okay, so off to the next strategy. Strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm just going to stick with group 2 right here. Okay, so again, all these option cards look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Again, the only thing is that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other, from each different option card. Okay, but what this means is that there's 15 red areas, there's 15 blue areas, okay, and so on. Okay, so I like to keep track of that as a group. Okay, so I keep track of that up over here, and I call it the Group 2 Overview, and this is what the Group 2 Overview looks like. Okay, so here you can see that in the red areas on the last drawings, the last drawing, there was 4 hits, 11 misses. Okay, so 4 and 11 equals that 15. Okay, so the magic number here is 8. If there's 8 or more misses, I color this blue for cold. If there's 8 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so here you can see that the hits, okay, the hits here, there was 8 of them, and there were 7 misses. Okay, so since there's 8 or more hits, I color it red. Okay, so this helps me able to predict what's going to be hot and cold as a group. Okay, so for this drawing here, I think there's going to be lots of hits in the brown area here. I think that this is going to be red. Okay, so as I head back to the game card here, my guess is that there's going to be lots of hits in the brown area of Group 2. Okay, so basically what that means is as I go back to Group 2, option card number 1, I look at the brown area, the 6 down to the 62, and I see what's left in that brown area. And as you can see, it's a 6, 14, 38. So I wrote those up right here. Okay, and then as I go back down through, you can see that option card number 2, and now option card number 3, okay, was the 5 to the 29 and the 34 to the 68. Okay, so the only one left is the 50 right here. Okay, and you can see that there was no numbers here for this brown area. Okay, so what I did is I wrote down all the numbers that were left on the game card, all right, for all 15 option cards. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing are the 6, 14, 38, 50, and 52. Okay, so you can see that they're all even. Okay, so as I go back to the 50-50 picks, just a little while ago here, they were all odd. Okay, so when that happens, sometimes and all 5 evens will come up, or the opposite will come up. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm banking on for this one. Okay, so again, with this certain combination of numbers, okay, this will give me 11 hits, 4 misses in that brown area. Okay, so again, I think that this is going to be an 11, and I think that this is going to be a 4. Okay, and I could color it up to show you exactly what I think is going to happen here. Okay, and how you use it. Okay, so again, the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing are the 6, 14, 38, 50, and 52. Okay, folks, I guess we'll see what happens. All right. So if you're interested in using my game to pick your own numbers, you can go to my website at www.patreon.com/decoding the Powerball, or you can email me personally at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's decodingpowerball@gmail.com. All right, folks, if you like the content of my show here, then please subscribe, okay? And as always, I really appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.